Hello everybody and welcome back to another weekly webinar. My name is Napu Taitano and today we are going to be looking at inheritance. I hope you've all had a wonderful day, and without further ado, let's get right into our slides. So, inheritance. What is it and how can it help us to be better Java programmers? Well, on our next slide here, you'll see what inheritance actually is. Essentially, inheritance is things that gain attributes from less specific things. In our example, which I'm going to be showing on the graph, we have the hotel. Our hotel class, which has its own attribute of room service, is extending the business class, and therefore gains its attribute income. The business class is extending the building class, and therefore gains its attributes of door and window. So, by our hotel extending the business class, our hotel has access to all of those attributes of door, window, income, and its own room service. That's the same for our next example here of duplex, which has its own attribute of garage, and then extends residential, giving it a yard, and then extends building, which gives it a door and window. You may have also noticed that these are so far increasingly specific categories. You go from something very vague, such as a building, and then get more and more specific until, in my case, you end up at hotel. But how is this helpful? Essentially, the inheritance helps you to follow the DRY principle of don't repeat yourself. Say you wanted to make 30 different types of buildings, you wouldn't want to go into each and every single file and change it if you needed to add something to what a building is. You wouldn't want to put down all that boilerplate over and over again either. It's just a waste of time, and there needs to be a better way. That way is inheritance. You have your building class, and every new type of building inherits from that. And this is intuitive by design, because if you need to change what a building is, you change the building class. That makes it so you add a variable, they all get that variable. You take a variable, they lose that variable. Add a function, they gain that function. It makes sense. I mean, you start with your vague classes and you get more and more specific, and then you update its definition of what that means, and they all understand that. It makes sense, and it is so useful. And also, thanks to inheritance, you have the easy creation of new classes. You'll see here in my small example, I want to create the restaurant class. And my restaurant needs to extend the business class because it's got all those values that I need for my restaurant. To do so, I just say public class restaurant extends business. And just like that, my new restaurant class has all the things a business does. I believe our example had income, door, and window. Those are in my restaurant class. I mean, you can't see them, but they're there. And that is just fabulous. Moving to our final slide here, we have a few supplementary links. One for inheritance and one for polymorphism. If you aren't sure what polymorphism is, I highly suggest you take a look because it is very closely related to inheritance and definitely something you should even have a basic understanding of. So even just a glance, even just for a few minutes, I highly suggest that you take a quick look at polymorphism. And with that, we have reached the end of our slides. Moving over to our camera. Okay. I guess that's it for today. I want to thank you so much for watching, whether you watched it live or the recorded form that was uploaded later. I had so much fun doing this webinar, and I hope I taught you something. If there's something you don't understand, by all means, contact me. I would love to help you out. And have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.